Hello and welcome to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. It is, of course, Tuesday, June 22nd, 2021. Sorry to leave you guys hanging yesterday, but the show is back. We're back today. Couldn't come at a better time. Yesterday's dump turned into an even bigger sell-off today. The panic is real in the space. I got a lot of people throwing in the towel, seemingly a lot of shorting the bottom, shorted the sub 30k range, only to get, well, potentially blown out in progress. BTFO'd on their short as Bitcoin wicks up back up to 32.5-ish. Almost back to the baseline, maybe rejection here. Wow, we wicked up to 33.2, really? Wow, incredible price action. Seemingly, yeah, 30, yeah, 33. Let's see here. Yeah,
more exchange.
33.26. Okay, well, let me just double check. Maybe this was earlier today. That's probably what it is. Well, last hour. No, wait, that was earlier. No, I guess the wick did take us up. Am I on the day on the hourly? Yes, I certainly am. Yes, the last hour hit a high of 32.791. I was looking at the wick on the daily candle. That was probably from earlier tonight. With that said, yeah, things are looking dire. I'm sure a lot of people are kind of looking on in horror as a lot of things unwind. A lot of coins get smacked around pretty hard today. So of course we'll be walking you through all the latest drama, guys, and well, giving you our trader's take on what comes next. Our analysts, well, of course, well, at least one of our analysts. Alex is here, kind of with us. He's here with us in spirit. He's packing right now. He's actually gonna. His timetable is suddenly taking a big crunch too. Alex has to be on the move in the near term. So we wish Alex best of luck on his move.
My friend.
He's still
Two
in
better
here.
tax shelters.
Yeah, he's still in here, but we're gonna leave him in peace today. He might chime in throughout the show, but at the moment he's kind of scrambling around the house. So, Alex, big shout outs to Alex, of course, and Jason. Jason's with us today. We just heard from him. Jason's gonna be lead analyst on the show today, so welcome aboard, Jason. All right, might have to
Didn't do you wrong last time.
Yeah, let me turn up Jason's volume, maybe just a touch. All right, so we're going to get into all the excitement on the markets today and a lot more. I feel like we missed Monday again. My apologies for the lack of a Monday installment. We will, of course, get to everyone's requests or any questions they may have in the request line section of the show. In the meantime, let's get into it. All right, let me get the music back on. The playlist apparently ran out. All right. Into it we go. Let's flip back to a look on the daily. Yes, we broke seemingly this 30K support earlier today. And yeah, we dumped as low as 28.7. Just brutal. Yeah, this is, of course, on the back of just increasing FUD in the space. This between the Chinese crackdown and just a general downturn in the markets, Bitcoin seemingly cycling to new lows. What comes next? Taking a look here, Minx I'm sure Minx could get pegged, but currently Minx looks pretty pegged on the daily, and yeah, maybe if I'm sure Jason or Alex probably had a short signal on for the group, but if you didn't, seems like yesterday's close was
we had a bunch of TPs today, a bunch of TP2s today.
All right, so I guess you shorted a lot of corners of the market, eh?
Well, we were Uni, DOT, BNB. Of course, I'm still in my hedge and ETH, so pretty well rounded there. But hitting all TP2s. But just got 20% of those last 4 positions on, so now I'm just gonna let it do what it's gonna do, right? So no loss situations, and now just let the volatility begin, right?
Yes, indeed. Speaking of ETH, let's go take a look at ETH. Yeah, 1894 pumped, had a bounce back above 2,000, and currently moving still downwards. Following the move down, WAD is starting to build negative momentum. Man, more pain still to come. There's a quick look at Ether, XRP.
Just in the sense that I do feel like now people are starting to feel some pain, and like this is the first time I feel like it's kind of really been getting to people to where I'm like, man, is there another one coming? Because that's usually what happens. Usually when you think it can't get any worse, that's when it gets way worse. And then we get that gap fill on the CME, or it's just super interesting right now.
Yeah, certainly. Clearly, we didn't reach peak capitulation in this move down to 30K. Seemingly, a 50-ish% correction, maybe even more, was what many people, even myself, would have thought. Okay, this could possibly have been the bottom of this entire. Well, if you go back up to Bitcoin here real quick, all these wicks down here to 30K. I thought this is all we could get. I wasn't entirely certain that we would indeed dump again another leg down. I know our analysts have been floating this thesis on the show for a while, but I still remained skeptical, thinking that this was the worst of it. At the very least, I was hoping for a move up on yesterday or in last week's bullishness to at least like the 45s. Nope, headed straight down.
Last week I pretty much said that I don't think we need to even get that pump anymore. It looks like we could just capitulate straight from here, and that seems to be what we've done.
Indeed. And now that the pain is very real, anybody who hasn't puked up their positions yet, they're probably getting close to it. Will we need a dive down to 25k or 20k to see that capitulation? Will we spend time below 20k?
Beans.
Yeah, it's gonna be a wild few more weeks, or while the remainder of the summer. I still like to think that by end of year we might still be posting new all-time highs, but at the moment things look really dire. Although I guess I'm gonna relish the opportunity to buy the dip, and buy the dip I will. Gonna wait, probably by end of month, when you luck, I'll get some more exposure to Bitcoin in the 20Ks. All right. Not much more to review here. XRP currently at 57 cents. Here's DOT, $15. It's just brutal. All my hodling positions are getting BTFO'd today. Yes, here's Kusama, sub $200. Everything, all probably getting wrecked twice as hard as BTC on a day like this. Let's check in with Doge. Is the Doge dream over? Doge swirling at the bottom of the bowl here at 19 cents. Doge prime for that one final flush down to sub 7 cents. Got all eyes on Doge. We'll see how this rolls out. If you're feeling uncomfortable as a crypto veteran on a day like this, imagine what all the new heads, all the Robinhood Doge traders.
There's a lot of people who are going to quit after today.
That's for sure. I imagine a lot of people are looking to tap out today. Here's a look at SHIB. Jason probably did right by not advocating us to buy this too early. But maybe we still got to throw some coffee money at SHIB amidst all this panic. Finally, let's get into the next segment. I'm not going to dwell too long on this because I need to introduce another item here, and that is. Let's have a look. We have a community. Got a community poll for you guys here. Let's have a look. Whoops. Let's copy the link here. Am I going to be able to paste this into the live chat? Let's see, guys. Let's drop this in here, guys. If not, check out the our channel page, our community tab on our YouTube channel page. You'll find the following poll. That's right, we're bringing polls back to the channel. A little something to have a little fun with during the course of the show. Today's poll is the following: how low will Bitcoin go in the month of June over the course of this correction? All right, guys, still a little over a week left in the month of June, and we are in the throes of the big summer sell-off on crypto and Bitcoin. How low are we going to go in the next 8 to 9 days? Got the end of June, and here are the potential responses. First option, sub 20k Bitcoin in June. Do you think this dump is going to send us, hurling another 30% downwards? Are we going to break 20k? Are we going to break previous all-time highs of 20k and see sub 20k Bitcoin in June? If you think so, Mega Bears, this first option is for you. All right. Second option is around 25k bottom in June. All right. Do you think we're close to a bottom? Are we bottoming around 25,000 on the next leg down? Is 25k your big buy zone for Bitcoin? Are you gonna not bulk and buy Bitcoin at 25k? The second option is for you. Finally, the third option is this was the last dip and 28k is the bottom. Yes, do you think this last wick, today's wick, and the subsequent bounce, we had a pretty substantial bounce. I think we moved up nearly $4,000 amidst the bottom there. Is this potentially the bottom for you? Do you think that this last wick below 30 shook out enough people to officially dub this the bottom in June? 3 simple options in today's poll. Let us know by checking those out. Let me just see here. Anybody responded to the poll yet? Let's refresh. yeah, we got 10 votes in. Wow. Go figure. 60% have responded so far saying that this was the last dip. 28K was bottom.
That's not good. How often is the public usually right?
Well, maybe. Well, this is not quite the general public. This is the CC community responding now.
We didn't insult all our viewers. Like, what do you guys know? Thanks for answering our questions, dummies.
Well, yep, there's that. All right. Well, I will check in with the poll a little later. Let me see if, again, I can't drop the link into the live chat. Or did I already? Let's try. Yeah, there it is, actually. Didn't go through on Twitch, but it went through on YouTube. So, best of luck there, guys. All right, let's hop into the next segment real quick. Let's take a quick gander over at the bubbles, and it's red. It's super red. Alts absolutely getting their guts splashed all over this place. Yeah, everything down.
It's gonna be a weird day for chart requests.
Yeah, everything down about double digits. 10, 15, 20% losers across the board. About what you'd expect today. Big premium on Huobi USD, the stable coin USD over Huobi. Figures.
No, it looks like actually it was down a whole bunch and now it's back up to peg. Go back to it.
I'm not sure what time frame this is on precisely, but seems like, yeah, a minor premium currently on Huobi's stablecoin at $1.05. Sushi.
Is it $1.05? I see it. Is it 92 cents?
Now currently at $1.05. I can pull it up, of course, on HUSD. Let's go to crypto. There we go. Will be USD. How exactly HUSD USD, or how would I confirm? Here we go. Well, this is a premium against USDC.
Okay.
I have to figure out exactly how to chart this particular baby, but
I guess it's not so super important. I just thought
certainly not about what you'd expect, though. Days like this could certainly put a run on certain stable coins and kind of feed them a bit of a premium. Yeah, there's of course Sushi. Sushi somehow up a couple points amid this. Of course, this could just be the way Bubbles has a habit of calculating.
Well, a couple of them are. Maker is up. I saw Comp is up. They'll have big wicks to the downside, but they're up on the day.
All right, guys. Well, Bubbles is about what you'd give it on a day like this. Pretty bloody day to take a look at Bubbles. Let's get into the next segment, shall we? And this is going to be a quick look at the news. Let's get right into it. All right. First piece here. Cointelegraph kind of just recapping much of what we just discussed. Bitcoin price clings to 32K. On-chain metrics apparently hinting at further downside in China's continued crackdown on Bitcoin mining and OTC transactions, along with prolonged technical weakness triggered Bitcoin's drop to a 6-month low. Yeah, I guess that one part of the this description would be correct. Weakness was all over the charts. We've been talking about it for a good while, and then the FUD just poured in on top. Between, yes, the Chinese crackdown and just a lot of FUD swirling in the space, seemingly drags sentiment down and prices along with it. All right, 1 second, bear with me here real quick. Let's go over here, and all right, back at it we go. All right, I don't really need to rehash much of more of this. Curious what they have in terms of data. Warning signs provided by data, blah, blah, blah. Drop in activity in the networks, more dramatic in USD decline, blah, blah, blah. Chinese crackdown leads to panic. Yes, much of this I'm sure our audience already knows. Let's get into the next piece by miners net position. All right, we'll get into this maybe another time. Let's see here. Biden's nominee for the Treasury Department is going to prioritize crypto regulation. That's right. Biden nominated a new Treasury Department head, and One of their statements reads, "If I'm confirmed, I'll prioritize implementing that piece of legislation, including new regulations around cryptocurrency," said this nominee, Brian Nelson. Let's see here. Prioritizing new regulations around crypto in the Tuesday hearing in the Senate on the Banking House and Urban Affairs. Nelson said he'd be focusing on anti-money laundering regulations. If he were confirmed in the position in the Treasury Department's Terrorism Financial Intelligence arm, adding crypto would be a particular priority. The nominee said that the Anti-Money Laundering Act of 2020 passed by the U.S. Congress this year would grant authorities to regulate whatever form of currency was required. If I'm confirmed, I'll prioritize implementing that piece of legislation, he says. Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, that's FinCEN, a division of the Treasury Department, proposed regulations earlier this year which would consider convertible digital currency or digital asset transactions subject to similar anti-money laundering and countering the financing of terrorism requirements. Last month, the government body also called for exchanges and custodians to report crypto transactions greater than the $10,000 mark to the IRS. All right, just what we need. A bit of regulatory FUD to pour some fuel on this fire. All right, amid all this, though, here's a little reminder that crypto is not quite getting put out to pasture just yet. These are some, this could just be some dark days as we approach what could be positive developments. Regulation and big investment might still be beneficial in coming to the space. In this case, PayPal and Visa are among the investors in a Blockchain Capital's $300 million fund. Blockchain Capital announced it's raising $300 money for Fund 5. Among the investors were PayPal and Visa. Additional money came from individual investors, pension funds, and universities. Blockchain Capital announced the closing of this $300 million venture fund raise. The first venture capital firm that was created with the intention of focusing on blockchain technology in the cryptocurrency landscape. The fund closed was Blockchain Capital's 5 LP after hitting $300 million hard cap. The announcement was made on Monday, along with pension funds, university endowments. PayPal and Visa were the main investors in Blockchain Capital's 5th venture round. Additional funds came from blah, blah, blah. Of course, as it currently stands, the venture firm has invested in dozens of startup companies that include Coinbase, OpenSea, Kraken, Anchorage, Nexus Mutual, just to name a few. Since the inception last October, the payments firm has begun giving clients the chance to invest in cryptos via incorporation with the PayPal wallet. In March, it allowed various merchants to accept cryptos as payments for goods and services, also acquired crypto custody firm Curve. It was announced this week that PayPal Ventures has made additional investments in TRM Labs, which provides blockchain forensics and fraud services. Visa's also had a busy week, not only investing in Anchorage, but also partnering with the company for custody services. So despite all the fear, all the panic, and I'm sure a lot of bystanders thinking this is it, crypto's done for, stick a fork in it. The fact is that major moves are still happening in this space. As you can see, 300 million raised here. Clearly the likes of PayPal and Visa do see a future for all types of blockchain tech from companies that serve the space like Coinbase, OpenSea, Kraken, Anchorage. Man, these guys, they're diversifying their crypto play into a lot of blockchain-based companies. It's not over yet, guys. Not all projects are going to survive. Maybe this next big flush, but I'm still confident we have a bright future ahead for all things blockchain and likely Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a few of the majors. Let's have a look here into this next piece. Yes, so this, of course, covering the China's Bitcoin miners relocating amid regulatory crackdown. I never thought this day would come, but seemingly it is. The exodus of Chinese Bitcoin miners continues as the world's primary mining hub folds under regulatory pressure. All right, so for everybody who spread the centralized in China Bitcoin FUD for many years, I hope this one makes you happy. The Chinese mining meme is officially winding down. Chinese Bitcoin mining firms BIT Mining and Fanghua International are relocating to the US and Kazakhstan. The Bitcoin network hash rate has significantly dropped as miners go offline following the ban. While the short-term effects are negative, the network is witnessing decentralization of the mining industry. Yeah, this is good in some ways. It's gonna be nice to have. What's up?
I'm just realizing shorting the hash rate would have been a fantastic trade last week. I can't believe we didn't think to do that. It's so obvious. You can short hash rate on a few exchanges.
No kidding.
Yeah, I think you could do it on FTX even. I think there's a hash rate futures.
Wow.
In trade.
Very interesting. Yeah, that would have been a brilliant trade. Yes,
2020.
Yeah, indeed. Especially with yes, another Chinese province apparently pulling the plug on Bitcoin mining. The mining industry finally moving out of China. Nasdaq listed Bit Mining shipped its first batch of 320 machines to a new facility in Kazakhstan, with an additional 2,600 machines expected before the start of July. Along with moving operations to Kazakhstan, Bit Mining has also invested in new mining facilities in Texas, which the company claims will mostly run on clean and low-carbon energy. Additionally, a Chinese logistics firm confirmed it is airlifting 6,600 pounds of mining machines to Maryland, USA, for another crypto mining firm, Fanghua International. Wow, this is good. At least amid all of this, we are seeing, seem like things are. The mining equipment's crossing international lines. Operations are being set up in the West, and of course, this social and environmental and other responsibility, I guess, might very well have a meaningful improvement if operations might in fact be based here in the West, in the U.S. Even if it doesn't, at least it might help with the perception of it. Indeed, you'll get to hear the Fudsters talk less about centralization in China. Could you imagine pretty soon we're going to have a world, we're going to end up in crypto bizarro world where maybe the Chinese pundits are going to be fudding Bitcoin as, oh, it's all centralized in America now. This is a tool for the American imperialism. They're undermining Chinese economic policy by centralizing all of that Bitcoin hash rate in the U.S. Is this...
Why it's as American as baseball, apple pie, and Bitcoin.
Bang bang, yes, it's a brave new world, and yeah, again, something I didn't quite anticipate happening, but maybe this is for the best, and it'll put some more skin in the game for the West in Bitcoin. Seeing a bit of a departure of all this hash rate from China to the U.S. and heck, now that the stage has been set surrounding this environmentally responsible Bitcoin mining, it's possible that in this move, maybe a lot of improvements can be made on that front, right? Maybe with everyone so conscious now of this ecological narrative. Will we see not just an exodus, not just a shift away from China, but a lot of this hardware resettling in the West under what could ostensibly be greener energy. So there's that. So this isn't too bad, but with that said, let's take a look at the Bitcoin hash rate. Since the 19th of June, the total Bitcoin network hash rate has fallen an additional 13%, continuing its downward trajectory from May. Yes, looks like at the highs in May, we were around 180 exahashes. Currently diving closer to 120 exahashes, so that is total close to a 30% drop. Yeah, total hash rate of networks dropped over 35% from the peak of 180 exahashes. However, despite a decrease in hash rate, the price of Bitcoin, there are positive indicators also. Bitcoin mempool, awaiting room for transactions yet to be processed, has remained stable. As hash rate decreases, fewer transactions can be processed, putting pressure on existing miners. A stable mempool size indicates that the total mining power comfortably supports all transactions. The U.S. as a whole is starting to account for more and more of the total network hash rate. During the recent crackdowns in China, American Bitcoin mining pool Foundry USA was the only Bitcoin mining pool to see an increase in hash rate. It's currently the 6th largest pool on the network, according to BTC.com. Let's see here. According to this one analyst, let's have a look here. We're still good on time. He says, and he's commenting on the mining industry, as miners spread to other locations, they'll likely choose places with secure access to cheap energy sources. As a result, hash rate will start recovering and the network will become even more stable. Additionally, mining will become more decentralized and likely more based on clean, renewable energy sources. All right. Seems like a pretty significant turnaround from how dire things looked on the environmental front with Bitcoin just a few months ago, with Elon FUDing super hard. Dare I say it, Bitcoin mining might be turning over a green new leaf now. I love it. You know, and I think this was probably one of the biggest thorns in our side, was all this environmental talk. This could be a good move forward. This could make us look better than ever. Given another 6 to 12 months, we could be coming out on the other end looking greener than ever before, less Chinese centralized, and heck, throw in a bit of regulatory reformation as well, right? The regulators will come on board. Sure, some of it might be a little unpleasant, but in the end, Bitcoin will get the green light, and it's going to have the green power backing it. So, all in all, this could be promising future for Bitcoin. Maybe not all cryptos, but I like to think that this is we're planting some solid seeds here, or building a decent foundation at least for Bitcoin in the future. So overall, despite all the pain in this sell-off, I think there's a light at the end of the tunnel, at least on in terms of fundamentals and some of the major talking points and FUD swirling the space. All right, that would be the last news item I have for today. Before I go into it, though, I'm going to check the Block Explorer. Let's see here. Despite this severely declining hash rate, are we having any problems producing blocks? Let's have a look here. In the last hour, so we had at least 4 to 5 blocks in the last hour. Let's view all blocks. And let's have a look here. 2, 2, 2, 2. Yep, at least 4 blocks, 4 to 5 blocks in the hour previous. At least 3 blocks here and 3 hours ago. Alright, things seem to be putting along somewhat steadily. My fear, of course, whenever I hear sharply declining hash rate, is there any struggle keeping the blocks steadily coming? By quickly scanning this, no, looks like we're mostly okay. The blocks are still trickling in. Good luck, Chinese miners, in your airlifting operations of all those cryptos and all those all that hardware. All right. Infrastructure sometimes goes to China, sometimes it finds its way back over here. How about that? All right. I think that's about it for the news, guys. Let's get into the next segment. What do we have? We're going to get into the comments. See who's joining us live today. Maybe I'll check in on the poll very briefly. All right. Looks like 10 more votes came in the meantime. I'll check on that in just a second. In the meantime, I'm gonna expand out this chat window and read a few comments, and we're gonna get into it, guys. You know how this remainder of this first hour is gonna unfold. We got Jason with us, Alex kind of lingering in the background, but we'll have Jason take you through a bit of a market analysis before we get into your request line in just a little bit. Ron Legato. Shoutouts to Ron Legato on YouTube. Apparently you were first in the chat today. Let me fix this chat window up a little more. Yes, Ron Legato. We have ANCAP Futures on YouTube as well. You were here second. Shoutouts to ANCAP. Rhino TD. Happy Tuesday, people. Was there a sell-off, he asks? Yeah.
I don't know if you've looked at it too.
Certainly was. I think it's being a little facetious, but shout outs to Rhino TD. It's Ponzi. Shout outs to It's Ponzi on DLive. He says, "What's up, boys?" Yeah, well, mostly the market's down, but we're doing okay. Alex81SG. Happy almost capitulation day. Certainly. Happy capitulation week, potentially. How much lower are we going to go? I'm going to check it on that poll in just a second. But if this is the bottom, congrats to everybody. We made it. Dark Rico, hiya gang. Shoutouts to Dark Rico. Tesla Go Around on Twitch is joining us. What's up, guys? Shoutouts to you, Mr. Go Around. PDD63 on DLive. Too much manipulation going on for sure. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people like to raise the manipulation flag whenever we get price action.
It's gonna happen regardless, so might as well find a way to make it work for you rather than just bitch about manipulation.
People see weakness and they sell into it.
Well, I mean, last week I was telling you, like, we haven't tested any of these V bottoms, and now we've tested all of them almost.
Certainly have. Let's have a look. Jordan Stotts, greeting brothers and sisters. Yeah, very good greeting to you, my man Jordan Stotts. Vic Stacking Schloss on YouTube. Hi everyone. Shout outs to Mr. Stacking Schloss on YouTube. It's Ponzi. Are you guys excited for the fire sale? I know I am. I certainly am excited to DCA into Bitcoin down at like a 60-75% discount. I'll take it. Let's do it. Let's have a look. B-Flow. There was nothing to buy. It was all on fire. Yes, I wouldn't blame you for taking your time deciding what to purchase. But Bitcoin is always good to stack. Sub 2K Ethereum again. Worthy of picking up down here, I think. It's Ponzi. Might there be more fire sales to come thanks to China? Maybe. Any word? Saw some former Google coder on YouTube say Bitcoin's going to zero because of stablecoins. I didn't quite get the argument. Yeah, a lot of bystanders don't quite understand what it is that Bitcoin offers. You know how it tries to digitize scarcity, and yeah, it's somewhat fair distribution over the last 10 years. Bitcoin doesn't exactly compete with stablecoin and fiat head on, and I can understand why people commonly misunderstand this. Lots of Bitcoin killers out there, yet none of them are quite cut out for the job of actually killing Bitcoin. Crypto Husao on DLive writes, "Hey CC, glad to be back after a week off. Looks like Alex's analysis are still spot on. Great work." All right, there's a little thank you to Alex for your analyses. It's Ponzi, former Google coder. He wrote the word Google on the home page. Okay. Yes, that might be his qualifications. He updates the Google headline, the banner image every now and then. ANCAP Futures, shoutouts to you. Yikes 10 on Twitch. Jason, very online guy here. Would you mind elaborating on the comment about the golden cross in the members chat? I want to hear more. All right, Jason, when you get into your main analysis.
Yeah, I was planning on looking at that anyways, because it just came, like, I was thinking to myself about it, and then I went back and looked at it, and we're super close to the same pattern at this point, so I'll definitely be going over that.
Yep, would love to hear about that. Let's get this last bit knocked out, and we'll get right into it. Daniel on YouTube, hi guys, shoutouts to you. Rolo Maximus, hey yo gang, shoutouts to Maximus. Rhino TD, China news is old now, we just have to wait for Friday's futures expiry. Yep, very interesting. ANCAP, is that the tech lead guy? Not sure who he is. Rolo, happy to hear you guys. Well, happy to have you guys in the chat. If we wanted to make money today, we should have traded the 5 minutes. Says it's Ponzi. Yeah, I think it's dangerous to start making moves on the lower time frames amid this volatility, but best of luck to anybody who can do it. Mr. Ether, the show must go on. It certainly does, guys. Markets up, markets down, panic, euphoria. We're here generally almost always broadcasting, except on Mondays where my internet's down. Alex81SG, I wonder how many lemons could Jason hedge? Let's have a look. He's gone to flee the country because he hit that short perfectly. Yes, that's a good theory. Alex is fleeing the country. The rugs have been pulled. He timed the short perfectly. He pulled the rug on the entire crypto market, and wave goodbye to Alex. He's getting out. kind of like the Quadriga CX founder. The SEC's coming. Yeah, the feds are already on their way. Alex can't get out fast enough. Of course, this is just joking, guys. Alex is an upstanding citizen. All taxes paid, etc. Mr. Ether Bybit went down to 28,600. Yep, brutal. Splash85, let's get this last few comments read out. Splash85 joins us on Twitch, and Soki is here with us on YouTube as well. Cryptobull21, my avatar is upside down. Not sure what that means. Let's see here. Torrent, what a fun day, he writes. Tesla go around, beat by the dip, and mine Bitcoin with a volcano. That's his life. Okay. Volcano mining, here we go. Let's see here. Never saw that link on DLive. Sorry about that, guys. I'll see if I can get you the link. I'm going to start distributing the community poll link a little better in the future. But in the meantime, Mr. H joins us on YouTube. Happy crypto friends. How about clicking that thumbs up? Yes, do hit the thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. Let's see here. Ernest the Gaia. I'm going to place limit orders all the way down to 20K every $500, he says. All right, big spreader here. It's Ponzi.
Super spread.
Yep, and Mike Caroni over on Twitch. Good morning, pals. What a morning. Certainly epic morning to get up to, dumping the way we did, savagely below 30K. All right, guys, I have to get into the next segment. I love reading your comments as always, but I do have to get into the next one. Dark Rico's with us. Shout out to Dark Rico. Chico Blanco Verano. China doesn't see a future in Bitcoin, he says. Them kicking out miners is more bearish, he says. They've gotten what they wanted out of it, dumping it. Let's have a look. Yes, that is a very bearish take on it. Bitcoin is Western.
EOS.
Yes, maybe they indeed will go EOS or some other token. BTC is Western bourgeoisie decadence. That's one way of looking at it. Let's have a look. Talk about centralization. Philly Carr is with us in the chat today. Evening, fellas. It's my birthday today. Anything other than lemons on offer? Not sure if you do, but we do have a happy birthday condolences to you amid the sell-off. So happy birthday, Mr. Philly Carr. Let's have a look here. B-Flow advocating for decentralization and centralized power in the USA. Let's see here. Chico, he calls it a Ponzi, and as long as it's decentralized, it's all good. All right, Chico. Gravy Grits and Greens is with us today as well. Shout outs to you, Joe Mama. All right, Boris Bitcoin. No pain here. My shorts are swimming with profits in the sweet tears of the dip buying bulls. Well done. Let's see here. Chico, it's like Super Smash Bros. You got to be the one making things happen. Who's ready for 2-3 years of a bear market? Yeah, I'm ready. I mean, I'm not convinced that this is the end of the epic bull run this year, but if it is, well, I'll strap in and prepare for the next cycle. Let's see here. Is Alex going into witness protection program? Is it a decentralized one? That's a good question. Finally, Franklin MC in the chat writes, good morning. All right, I got through all the comments. Thank you again, guys. But we got to dive in to the next segment, and that is Jason. Jason, if you don't mind, share your screen, big guy.
Yep.
All right. This next segment going to feature the TA of Jason Bauman, everyone. We're going to get right into that.
So, like I said, it's probably not going to be too much that needs to be pointed out because, I mean, everything pretty much looks the same. We are in the middle of an interesting buyback, especially on lower time frames. We just don't know what that's going to look like by the end of candle close, of course. So I figured I'll just go through just an overview of different things here on my overview list just to kind of take a look at them. But, of course, I think that they're all going to look the same, and then I'll get a little bit more into Bitcoin. But looking at DeFi perp going down here, looks the same as everything else. Big old sell-off, and then we're getting the intraday buyback. Dow Jones getting a buyback as well. Pretty much trapped under resistance, though. Still not looking very strong at all. This looks a lot like that. This might have been the one Alex had marked out with that nice curved line that followed it. But Dragon Perp, not quite as good of a buyback, but a nice wick down into liquidity here, and then might end up bullish engulfing. Just don't know. Dixie getting a little bit of a sell-off here, which I guess is not surprising considering it did have a nice little pump and then a sell-off, which is the exact opposite of what happened with Bitcoin and most of the alts here. ETH looking like the same, coming down to rest on that 200 EMA. It looks like that is still acting as support for now. Exchange perp breaking below, but to getting that buyback. Mid perp looking the exact same. I mean, to be honest with you, the QQQ, the NASDAQ, is the only thing that looks bullish here. I mean, getting a full continuation with a higher high today. The NASDAQ looks really good here. It's kind of weird considering the rest of the market, but tech stocks apparently just seem to be doing well. Alex, are you around by chance? Wanted to see if you wanted to weigh in on the differences here. It's kind of interesting to see this kind of pushing to the upside while everything else is getting sold into. But maybe we see a little bit of continuation out of these buybacks that we're getting. Maybe we do end up the day on some bullish engulfing candles, and then QQQ just keeps going as well as everything else gets bought up into. SHIB perp, same exact story. SPY looking a little bit stronger than the Dow Jones, getting bought all the way back up here to resistance. Nothing to do with it while it's still under resistance. You'd have to wait for a higher high. Bitcoin Dominance definitely raising right now. Curious that we did get a full-blown continuation on Bitcoin Dominance yesterday with very little sell-off in conjunction with the sell-off that we did see on BTC. I think that's pretty interesting, to be honest with you. ETH Dominance, of course, probably going to be falling. Getting a little bit of buyback here on gold. Pretty much looking the same. Quite the sell-off on gold, to be honest with you. ZAG Silver, sell-off looking a little bit weaker than the rest of them. And then Litecoin getting sold into as well without not quite as good of a buyback. Like I said, you're going to have to wait till the end of the day to really look at these things. But if we go into Bitcoin, this is the one thing that I wanted to point out to the members, because I was looking at the charts. I'll have to go back to something with more data, Bitstamp. So I was looking at this chart here, and I was noticing this death cross that we're about to get. And I remember going back through and looking at these things over time. And the funny thing about them was they usually played the exact opposite way. So whenever you get that death cross, you usually got to pump back up into it, which would cancel it out, and usually a hefty pump. And this is reminding me a lot of when I was driving to Louisiana back in October of 2019, and we were looking an awful lot like this. And I had put on a 12-hour short that wicked down and just smashed, but I was in the car, so I couldn't move my stop loss to break even. And when I had gotten back, we had shot from about 10,000 to or 7,000 or something like that to 10,000, like within a couple of days, or it was actually a couple of hours. Okay, it did end up being a couple of days, but if you look, this is what I'm talking about right here. So this pattern right here is very reminiscent to me of what we were dealing with back in October of 19. And I have this marked out because I do believe that this might be right where we are in terms of that time frame. And if you look, you got your 50 EMA coming across your 200, and then boom, we just get a sudden Jericho all the way up to here. What was that move? Yeah, 38% wick in 2 days, or in candle in 2 days. Then we get that sell off to lower lows. Then we got boom, boom, couple more, and then that's when we finally got that March cross. So I'm looking at this in conjunction of where we are now, and it really wouldn't surprise me if this behaves the same way on this death cross, because if you look at the current price action, we are curling right back up to the 200 EMA the exact same way we were. We got a wick down into liquidity, and now we're getting this bullish engulfing. I'll be interested to see if this closes the day like this, because I could easily see, if this does play out the same way, us getting just a big old Jericho all the way up here into the 50s, and then that sell off all the way back down to test the trend line back down here, which would easily give us back into the teens if it plays out the same way. I just think that this is super interesting on the way that price could likely play out. So I'm going to be watching this pretty closely on lower time frames. We did get a good hourly. Me personally, I am still hedged, of course, but I did take this chance here to basically hedge my hedge, because I want to, if we do decide to really go for it here, I want some time to be able to close that out without having to waste all of that gap. But basically just tied up my hedge to where if it goes up, it stays the same. If it goes down, it stays the same. Just the equivalent of my short. Just to make sure I can lock that in case we do decide to get that just crazy Jericho that we did last time, which would definitely bring us way higher than what we've seen this time. But the hourly, let me get back down here. Main PTP. This was a good hourly signal here, so I did just hedge my hedge here at like 32,286, and I'm just gonna let this go for a little bit, and I'm gonna be paying a lot of attention to the 4 hour, because if I do get a solid signal out of the 4 hour, I might likely take that position as well as close my hedge. But I have to think about that. We'll see when the time comes. But this is just something that sticks out in my brain on patterns, and to be honest with you, it looks almost perfect, like shot for shot fractal of what happened right here. So let's just draw that out, just crudely here. Let's get rid of Quadrigo. So if this did play out this way, we could get a boom, boom. And then I do think that we would ride this out. I'm not sure if we're going to break below, but we got two different paths that we could take. But I mean, even thinking about this could take us out to October. And of course, we could just get a straight buy through. But as for now, I'm just waiting to see how this plays out. The reason why I do believe that this is possible is because if you look at the angle of attack on the hourly, this is a really high momentum spring here. And if we get follow through, then we're likely to see price continuation very quickly. So as you can see, we've already busted up about $500 since I've been talking about it. I just think it's like all eyes for me right now is hold on, sorry, I just kind of brain farted. Basically all eyes for me are on Bitcoin, because I think that that's going to be the deciding factor. And with what's happening right now, I am kind of excited to see how this plays out, because every once in a while when you do just get one of those fractals that are very reminiscent, they often play out the same way. So from here to here, I think we could get that nice square bottom, boom, pop back up, and then dip back down, and then kind of a repeat, and then we just get another fractal back down into the teens, which we could easily get and still maintain that bullish narrative. Because this is one thing I did want to point out as well. Look at this on the 6 month. Okay, I was looking at this, and this 6 month ascending triangle right here, you rarely get these types of things without any, like this wick on the bottom of the month, the 6 month, you rarely get these. So we've still got 8 days till this finishes. So I'll be curious to see if we get that a close like this, or maybe even if we close a hangman candle. I'll be watching this over the next week. But even a dip down into the like 12,000 could give us just common throwback on an ascending triangle to test the top of this range, and then we get continuation in the next 6 months. So I'm still watching this pretty heavily. I think we could get that pop up and then that sell off all the way back down over the next 6 months, and then hopefully that ends up in a just a wick to the downside to test support, and then we get that follow through. This is the kind of the narrative that we've been talking about, of maybe 3 months down, and then we get that continuation to the upside, which I still think is absolutely possible. Looking at this, go boom, then another 3 months down, and then we get that 3-bar reversal to continue to the upside. I think that's absolutely possible. But yeah, in terms of what we're looking at, I do think that there's a possibility that we could get a Jericho here out of nowhere to really mess people up. Because think about the way it happened that time as well. Everyone got super bearish, and then all of a sudden we had this 2-day Jericho that covered 38% of Bitcoin, and then we just got sold into for another month and a half after that. Like, that crushed a lot of people because they weren't prepared for something to move that much and then collapse again, which I think is the most likely narrative, to be honest with you. I mean, how do you feel about that, Jack? I mean, of course, this is just my own thoughts. Of course, I'm going to trade the charts as the signals come, but I'm just the type of person that likes to mentally prep myself for whatever is to come, because then nothing can really surprise you, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is a volatile market and shows no mercy at times, so I wouldn't put that out of the question. It has a habit of faking people out. This bounce from 28K certainly demonstrates that it's not going to be straight down. A lot of people are probably shorting super late. You know, a lot of people, probably like me, hodled pretty hard on a 50% correction. They figure, 50% is usually the most Bitcoin corrects during a bull market, but now that we're flirting with a deeper retracement and people thinking, oh man, 60 was the top, I should be getting out now, I don't want to ride out the bear market for the next 3 years, this is where the late shorters might be entering the game, and that's maybe where you figure you'll see that crazy Jericho to the upside to wipe them out too. So
I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts in the chat as well on what you think on this, like, because I'm thinking that this is a solid fractal, and I don't know, it's just one of those things where, like, my spider sense is kind of tingling to where I want to be careful. That's why I decided to hedge my hedge here, and I don't lose anything if it goes down. I don't make anything if it goes up. I keep my USD value, and then all of the gains that I've made on this hedge down from 51.
Hedges on hedges on hedges. All right, quick reminder, guys. I don't really have many requests logged yet. If you guys want to, I do see a couple coming in, but I will log them. Put your requests in. If there's anything at all you want to look at today, we can certainly look at. If not, Jason will flow freestyle from chart to chart. What else did I have to mention? Yes, the chest is going to get open, so stand by for the chest opening coming to your way in about 45 minutes on DLive. And finally, there was a comment here from a very online guy, and he wrote something along the lines of, where is this comment? Something, oh, here it goes. Please let us know on the 4-hour in members. That would be great to know. I'm not sure what 4-hour.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be watching the 4. If I get a solid 4-hour signal, I'm likely going to be posting that to the group, because I want to be ahead of this thing. If I am indeed right, then it'll be definitely behoove me to catch that early.
All right, very online guys, stand by. Members, stand by. Jason, I'm sure, will update you on that 4-hour window. In the meantime, let's see if there's any other comments here. I do see the requests coming in now. All right, guys, I will log all these requests. In the meantime, let's give Jason some time to explore some more thoughts. Bitcoin, Ethereum, anything at all, Jason. Feel free. You still got time to do your TA.
Yeah, and thing about it is, that's why I'm watching Bitcoin so hard right here, is because I really don't think we're going to have anything really diverge in the sense of, like, have those outliers that are just like, oh, crazy. Like, I see someone pointed out SUSHI there. On the daily, I bet it doesn't look much better. It might just be a nice bullish engulfing the same way that most of these things are looking currently. But I'm watching Bitcoin because if we do get that nasty Jericho, pretty much everything's probably going to pump with it. At least a good percentage. So that's why I'm just making sure I focus on Bitcoin right now. If it fails as well, then I mean, I think everything else will fail. I think dominance is kind of an interesting thing right now, just in the sense of dominance rising so much with Bitcoin getting sold into. But depending on how the day ends, I mean, we could just be a whole bunch more up. So. Okay, so let's just look. Maybe I'll just do a large scan to see if there's anything that I could even be doing. We are in BNB already. We've already hit TP1 and TP2, so we're just kind of letting that ride with 20%. Stop loss at break even. Neo, this was like everything just looked way too overextended last night for me to be able to take it, especially with the 13. Possibly this could have looked good on Alex's, but I'm not sure. Zach, another one, bullish engulfing. This is another reason why I don't take things that are so far away from the baseline, because you often see these bounces. Rep BTC, Bitcoin Gold, XMR. Interestingly enough, this could end up being a full short tonight. If we close below the 200 EMA and get this short signal, I think that this might actually be a good baseline bounce play. So we'll look at that later today. Everything just looking super weak today. Well, definitely yesterday's close. Nice buyback on Maker here. Would have just got smoked on that continuation short. A and B. I should actually probably look at it because I'm not looking to short those Bitcoin here right now. Look at the USDT. Matic getting a nice buyback. TRX. Pretty similar, my friends. But I have seen the sentiment change kind of in the sense of like Twitter and stuff like that. Everyone's saying bear market confirmed, all this stuff. Like that's exactly the time that you expect to see some kind of Jericho to mess everything up, then get sold into even lower, in my opinion. So I'm definitely expecting some fuckery here. USDT. Sorry guys, I'm just cruising through here to see if there's anything that actually looks interesting. Everything pretty much looks the same, but this is what I do every day for the daily scan, is go through all of my lists and just see what's popping. But yeah, it doesn't look like there's anything really that's looking too good. About right where we were at yesterday's close, with a nice little push into liquidity. I did forget that I had a resting order sitting on EOS at $3.10, which got picked up, so that's nice. Yeah, right towards the bottom of this wick, we had a low of $3.03. So that was a nice little snag. But other than that, guys, I mean, everything looks really similar. It's going to be real hard to talk any different about anything. We're just kind of in a waiting game. Now is the time when you should have been in positions. You should have been, like, we've hit a bunch of TP2s already. Now we're getting bought back up. Lock that profit in. Like, this is clockwork. This is exactly what we expect. This is why we trade the way that we do, because everything is so unknown, right? So we need to lock in that profit every chance that we get. So if you want, we can get into requests then, Jack.
Yep, let's do it. Just give me a minute.
Let's take a look at SHIB and see if it was a good idea that we didn't buy it. Okay, another little bearish engulfing on SHIB. If we do get that movement, Jack, maybe this is the time that we throw a little bit of money at it.
I'm down.
Just as a joke. But yeah, I mean, even if you come up to the bottom of this resistance, that's 100% play already. It's right there. I'm just so excited. just want to make sure that we keep this high angle of attack on the hourly, and then if we do, then we're likely to continue moving to the upside here. I would think that this needs to close green, but we will see.
All right, it's Bonzi writes in the live chat. I'm not saying you've ever been wrong, Jason, but you're getting us too hyped. Jason certainly has a habit of really getting the trading hype going. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, this is just like this is why I like doing this. Is like I like it's like problem solving. It's like figure out what happens next. You need to be 1 step ahead, 3 steps ahead. And one of the things to doing that is making sure that you are planning for almost every outcome. Because we absolutely could break here, close that CME gap, even go into the teens from here. But I do feel like there's a lot of pressure to the downside now, and this is right when people give up and just start shorting the bottom. Then we get a nice Jericho pump out of that, which just crushes everyone. And then we get sold into again, and then people are like, I should have just stayed in my original position. Like, that's how it goes almost every time. So it's like that mentality of what would cause max pain.
Certainly the case. All right, I got a few requests logged here, so we're going to get right in it. Let's have a look here. First request, if you don't mind taking a look at the Forex, Jason, we have Nit and Soki over on YouTube requesting the USD CAD.
Well, looks like it's behaving the same way as the US dollar right now. If you were in it already, then you're getting that take profit long today. You are coming up on, yeah. So yeah, today, if you were in this, man, great job. I mean, nice bottom here, and then just whoop, right there. That's a nice move on Forex. But today, if you're in it, I think you should be looking to get out. If you haven't taken any profit, of course, you should be taking profit, but this would signal that you should be getting out completely, and momentum has really died off here. So I think that getting out here and waiting is probably the best option here. We don't really know what's going to happen. And then if the narrative of what I've been talking about, if that does play out, if we do get some kind of wackadoodle candle to the upside, this is likely to get buried all the way back down to its support. So getting out here, I think, would be the right thing to do with what's coming. I would think just to get out. I mean,
winter is coming.
Winter's coming. Mike asks quickly in the Twitch chat, what is this Jericho you speak of?
Jericho is just a very, very large, unnatural candle that basically sweeps most liquidity.
All right.
Yeah, Jericho candle's not like a technical term. It's more like a colloquial term.
Yeah. I mean, it probably is one just from like Urban Dictionary or something now, but it's just a big old fuck you candle.
All right. Crypto Bull writes, OMG, please don't short from here. SHIB, Alex81SG says SHIB looks like ICP did 3 weeks ago before it dumped another 70%. All right. I see a lot of decent comments in here, including a few people who still think 100K Bitcoin by end of year is
I don't disagree with that narrative either. I mean, you just have to figure out the order in which it's going to happen.
All right. In the meantime, let's. Did you? I'm sorry. I might have spoke over you, but did you look at the USD CAD and given your thoughts yet?
Yeah. I think that if you were in it, anything before a week ago, you've done well. Take profit, and today you're getting a take profit long, so I would be getting out of it.
All right. Perfect. And Soki, thank you for that request. Off we go into the next one. Mr. Ether as well as Torrent from YouTube want to take a look at Hex. Let's take a look at Hex.
Well, I mean, that was close. And this Hex looks like we're getting... Hex has done really well up to here. I think that now it's looking pretty weak, to be honest with you. Today is going to give you your first initial short signal, depending on how it closes today. You might get WADA. WADA's momentum is there, but we're just not red. My system needs to be red and bright green. So nothing to do with Hex here, but it looks like it's beginning to get weak. Getting some bearish divergence here. As you can see, higher high there. Lower low.
Can you look at that on Uniswap? Is this the...
I am looking at it on Uniswap.
Or maybe ChartX. Is this the same one where all? Is this the same resistance level where all the wicks were to the upside? Do you remember?
I do believe you're right. I think that it is.
Like, if we're still at that level.
Hex.
I think just Hex.
Yeah, this is where we were talking about before all those wicks up into it, and then we got another pump out of it. Now we're getting even more wicks. So it is beginning to look weak, of course. Like I pointed out over here with your bearish divergence. It's beginning to get that initial short signal for the first time today. This one would have just got you smacked right in the teeth. Actually, that's not a good one. And that would have been a good one, which actually you would have hit TP1 on that probably. So actually playing out pretty well for Hex, but as of now, nothing to do. It's beginning to look bearish here for the first time in a while. I think you're likely to get a sell-off on Hex. But yeah, you can see a lot more wicks up into, but also you still can't use any kind of limit orders on Uniswap, right?
On V3 you can.
Wow.
All right.
X looking weak.
All right, we've given X a good shake here. I see more and more requests still pouring in, guys. Stand by. I'm going to add them to the list. But in the meantime, let's take a look at this next request. It's for YY on YouTube. They ask, link please. All right, let's take a look at Chainlink.
Link's looking the exact same as everything else. Got sold into here today. Did we get a lower low on this? Low $15, low 15. Actually, right on the nose, $15. Might get a bullish engulfing candle today. Nothing to do with this. It's too low below your baseline. It looks like everything else, man. You're just gonna have to be patient and see how things close, and then in a couple days we'll know. So yeah, Link looks like everything else today, man. Wait till close, see if you get a bullish engulfing, and then if you have a good lower time frame system, you might find a good entry into some lower time frames that gets you in set up into wherever the move goes. So.
All right. Does that conclude your thoughts on Link?
Mm-hmm.
All right, heading into the next request. I'm still logging everyone's request. Thank you for gradually pouring these ones in. All right, this next one's for PDEX. PDEX USD.
We had a beautiful short on PDEX here. We have probably cleared mostly all free take profits. But as for now, it looks the exact same as everything else. Might get a bullish engulfing candle on today's. Nothing to do. You're actually sitting underneath old resistance. Or old support, maybe become resistance, just depend on how we close this. If we get a nice continuation up out of this, you're likely to get continuation up to the upside. And maybe even get that candle, like if Bitcoin plays out, you might get it up to there.
I don't know. We're resting on the same support level as the first dip.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, like, we won't know until today closes, because if this is negative, then that's clearly become resistance. If it's positive, then we've kept that support, right?
But if you were going to buy a dip, this is not a bad place to buy, simply because we're at the support. But most likely, you're going to end up getting stopped out here with the way the markets are looking. But if you want to risk it, this is the spot to be risking it.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, we're definitely at a historical bottom. But taking a stab at it wouldn't be terrible, but we just don't know how much further this can go. Let's
some kind of at least a TT cross up or something to.
Yes, so like in today's, you're just nothing to do with it. Let's see if we have more data over here. Oh, nope, looks about the same. I mean, it's a pretty nice basing period, but once we break it, who knows how low it can go, right? So like I said, just got to be patient with this. Let's see what happens the next coming days. Time transformation does look like it's about to curl over, giving you some Class C bullish divergence if it does close this way, but you'd need tomorrow as well. I think, isn't it, you need 3 candles before it's confirmed. But getting a nice cross here, as you can see, boom, we're getting a lower low on the oscillator, but about the exact same price on our current price of old historical levels. So this would be type C, weaker bullish divergence, but still bullish divergence.
All right. I'm assuming that concludes your thoughts on PDEX. You ready to get into the next one?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Ash Ketchum, put your PDEX away. Let's get into this next one for It's Ponzi. He says, how about we look at SUSHI since it was one of the outliers today? Did you already give SUSHI a look, or?
I didn't give it a look. It is interesting that it's going down here and testing this old resistance, become support, boom, coming back down here and testing. It does appear that SUSHI's getting a little bit better intraday buyback so far than the rest of the market, but in the sense of looking at it to the pattern, it looks exactly the same as everything else, getting a nice bullish engulfing candle, which seems to have a stronger buyback, but not really getting much out of our oscillator. Let's go down to lower time frame and see what that looks like. Okay, starting to get a little bit better here. Maybe we do get some kind of spring behavior up like I've been suggesting, but as for now, you can't really do anything. If anything, it's telling you to get out of your short positions and just let price be what it's going to be. But it does appear we got a little bit better buyback intraday so far, but like I said, you got to wait till that candle closes, because with the volatility we got today, we could get the exact same play to the downside before close. We just don't know. So let's move on to the next one. Looks like we got Ocean. SDT.
You're getting ahead of me. Indeed, we do have Ocean as the next request for Wook Chewy.
I mean, this is one of those ones where you're like, man, like, it does look like it's just been testing this bottom. You got a nice, what is that? 83% retracement from the highs. Ocean does kind of look interesting if, like, this is like what Alex was saying. Like, if you were looking to buy it, I mean, this could be something that's worth taking a stab at and then putting your stop just below this wick. But the basing period here of Ocean for what it is looks all right. But again, you just have to wait to see if we get the buyback, if we get the bullish engulfing, then maybe you can go down to lower time frames and see if you can't catch like a 4-hour to get you into that trend. Does look like we have some unnatural volume coming in on lower time frames on that buyback on the 4-hour. So across the board, we are getting some good buybacks. So we just kind of got to wait. But as for the bottoming behavior, like, I do like all these tests that had become support, and now we're getting an 80% retracement from the top down into that same support and not a lower low. That, I mean, you could make the argument for a bullish case to the upside there. But not anything that I'm going to look to touch, of course.
All right, there's your look at Ocean. What do we have next on the request line? It's Sun. Yes, a lot of chatter in the live chat concerning Sun USDT. You might want to look at Sun USDT, I think, on Bittrex. Was there some kind of crazy price action on Sun USDT?
Not really, to be honest with you. It appears that it stayed a little bit more stable than the rest of the market.
Let's see here. To turn it down to the hourly. What's that crazy volume there that came in? Is there something here on this chart? Reset your chart so we can...
Something's geeking up here.
Yeah, something's not looking right here.
Oh, okay. I was like, what's happening here?
Yeah, what is happening?
I don't know what happened here.
Is there a giant gap? Is there a huge gap there?
It's a gap.
Yo, does anybody in the live chat have any information on this Sun USDT business?
Usually it's because there's been a split of some sort.
Yeah, it lost 100% of its value.
It could have split 100 to 1 or 1,000 to 1. Remember when that did that?
Yep.
Isn't this very reminiscent of like what happened with Titan?
No, because Titan didn't have a gap. It was just red candle all the way down.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, yeah. There's probably some kind of news out there on this. I don't know what's going on with it. Okay, now I'm seeing it. I was like, this seems weird. Okay, now there's some candles down here. Yeah, what happened here, man?
Wait, which is the short Alex took? It's Ponzi said that's the short Alex took.
Oh, I think he's making a joke. Like that's why you're getting out to Puerto Rico because you just massively shorted this. We got some Turkish activity on D Live here.
Well, they can stay around as long as they're not adding one lemon at a time and trying to steal stuff. I would hate to. We don't want to be. That's right. We don't want to get scammed.
But as for Sun, guys, I don't really know what to do with this. It's lost 100% of its value. So if you want to take a stab at it, I would figure out why it is. Like if they did some kind of split or something like that. But definitely do your own research on this. But if you're looking to pick up a bottom, $14 to 0.0 to 2 cents. I mean, that might be something to pick up. I would never suggest buying that. There's some kind of fuckery going on. All
right. Well, there is your look at Sun. Alex81SG. Sun did a token migration and a 1 to a 1,000 redenomination. All right. Well,
looks like Alex.
That certainly explains it. And much thanks for the clarification. There is your look at Sun USD.
A lot of stuff in my day.
Let's take a look at the next one. This one's for Van Frick on D Live. Speaking of D Live, I'm going to open that chest in about 20 minutes. In the meantime, Van Frick wants to look at Cardano ADA.
All right. Well, I mean, ADA's the exact same scenario here. If we go down to lower time frames, you can probably see what I was pointing back out on the last week when we were up in this area. What I was talking about was these V bottoms. I don't like that these V bottoms were untested. That white noise in between here, you rarely get that continuation to the upside before you at least test these, and that appears to where we have come down to test and now building support back in those areas. If you go to lower time frames on almost everything, you can see these. I mean, actually, Litecoin's getting sold into a little bit harder, but if we do get that bounce back, it's likely to become support. But ADA, the same as everything else, man. Looking kind of, if we close like this, we could get that reversal, like I was saying, but nothing to do with it here.
All right, that concludes your thoughts on ADA, I presume. Let's get into the next request. Chico Blanco Verano over on YouTube wants to look at OHM. That's OHM.
Yeah, is it a stock? Or is that on SUSHI?
I think that's, let me take a quick look. That's, I think, Olympus, and...
Would it be 899 ending?
I'm gonna find out right now. Yes, ending in 899, thank you.
Alright, well, I mean, you're getting sold into pretty hard here on the daily. You could come down here and test this resistance, but nothing really to do for me on this. I don't really even know what it is, but it does appear since its release it's just gone straight down, got a nice test of the upside, and now you're testing the lows again. So I mean, I would watch the reaction off of this bottom, and then on lower time frames you might be able to snag it, but as for now, there's nothing to really do. You're gapping down on the 4 hour. This doesn't seem to be getting a buyback like everything else has. It seems to just be getting sold into on the 4 hour. So nothing to do on this for me. There's plenty of other things to be looking at today, and myself personally will be focusing on Bitcoin. But yeah, nothing to do with this.
All right, there is your look at OHM. Shoutouts to Mr. Verano. In the meantime, here's a request from Splashy85. He says, can we please check out the Cloudflare stock, please? So you're going to have to hop back to TradingView. Make sure you filter by all. Type in Cloudflare. That's the one.
Well, pretty interesting. Actually, you got a solid continuation signal here yesterday on the daily. Nice baseline bounce to test old resistance come support. I don't think you'd be silly for taking this continuation, to be honest with you. You're very close to where you got that continuation, and now you're crossing back up on time transformation as well as Minx. I think that you would it would be a good trade set up here to take this up to, let's see here. Take this up to about $105.27. Low, 96.78. Beautiful that this, even you'd still be in this trade if you took it here. We did wick back down to here, but you didn't quite stop out at 96.08. We had a low of 96.79. I think, especially with a close like this above, I think this could easily be taken to and you're at all-time highs here. Yeah. This is a great setup. This reminds me a lot of what the NASDAQ looks like right now. So I'm assuming that this is a tech stock.
Yeah, they're the ones that provide DDoS protection across the internet for a lot of websites.
Very similar here. So I think that there's a very good argument for the bullish case of continuation to the upside here. So, I mean, out of everything that we've looked at today, this and the NASDAQ look great. So it's definitely something. You have my thumbs up, my friend.
All right, thumbs up to Cloudflare. Thank you to Splashy85 for that one. Little comment here from Revolution on DLive. Just joins us. He says, "Hooray, the crew is back. I missed having the show yesterday." Yeah, sorry we left you hanging yesterday, Revolution. My internet was down for a better part of the day, so we're back now. So let's get into the next request. It's ICP for Chico Bike Overano on YouTube.
I see fucking P in my hands. Ugh, ICP. I mean, it looks. I mean, there's less data here, but just solid down. I mean, I would do nothing with ICP here, man. You're starting to get across on time transformation, but there's nothing here to suggest that you're going to get any press to the upside. I think it'll follow if we do get that burst out of Bitcoin, but nothing to do here.
You okay there, Aleph?
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you being attacked by a dog?
But I'll be okay.
What'd you do?
I dropped something on my foot.
I was gonna say that sounds like you stubbed a toe or something.
Yeah. I was just gonna lock it off.
Can't get back to your computer to mute your mic. We just hear you bitching. Oh. But yeah, for ICP, nothing to do here, man.
All right, there's your look at ICP. Let's get into the next one. Is this a request? Any word? If you're still in the live chat, let us know. Is DERO a request? Alex or Jason, type in D. Oh, okay, it is a coin. Never mind.
Yeah, interestingly enough, you got a wick up into this is a curious coin. This looks way different than the rest of the market, to be honest with you. Yesterday, you got this continuation on this big old wick with a nice press down to the bottom to test the baseline. Have you gotten to TP1 yet on this? 869, 850. So not quite yet. It's a curious chart. I mean, it looks good. Everything that you want, unnatural volume coming in with a rising explosion level and high momentum, and you're getting bought back into as another test of resistance becomes support. I think that this looks good for continuation, to be honest with you. You're a little late to the party. You should have been in yesterday, but that would have you up, what? A little bit on the day. Currently about 8% on the day, which isn't too shabby. But yeah, I think that it wouldn't be terrible to take this back up to $8.69 for TP1, lock that in, and then see what happens. This is a way better looking chart than everything else. You got to wick up into higher highs. I mean, some could see that as a liquidity, hunting liquidity, but you're getting good follow through on the next candle here. So Out of everything we've looked at, Cloudflare, DERO, and the QQQ look really good.
All right, that is DERO in the bag. We're currently about 12 minutes to go for the chest opening. Stand by for that, as well as, let's see here. Any other comments I need to highlight? Crypto Bull, Jack's internet couldn't handle the dump yesterday. No, not quite. You know what? We have like roadworks going on where I am. They're redoing all the curbs, all the storm drains, and repaving the road where I am. Major work, and I think when they were redoing the sidewalk or pulling up the sidewalk, I think they damaged something and we were down for a while. I was watching them work, and I did see the tech guy come out here and redo some cabling. I think that was it. With that said, I'm back now. It's good to be with you boys on the stream. And you ladies as well? You too. Alright, let's get into this next request. It's for Coin, the Coinbase stock for Torrent in the YouTube chat.
Well, I mean, yeah, looking at Coin here, nothing to really suggest that you had a good short signal back here a couple of days ago. Nothing to really suggest that this is where you'd want to be a buyer. It is kind of curious. Like if we do get that Jericho, I do think that you're likely to see a little explosion out of Coin here as well. Got this gap over here that's likely to get tested at 255, but just watch it on lower time frames. It does appear to be getting some kind of a reaction off the bottom, at least on the hourly. So just need a little bit more time. It could be an interesting spot to take a chance on Coinbase, but nothing to fully suggest a trade with my systems. But watch it on lower time frames. It could be interesting because I think if we do get a large expansion out of Bitcoin, Coin's likely to take off as well.
All right. What was that? Did we just hear Alex again?
I think he yelled.
Curious?
221.
Okay, so basically trading sideways.
Yeah, it's kind of been just popping around like that marble scenario that I was talking about, rolling around on the bottom.
Yeah.
I thought the blink, 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 or the boink, boink, boink marble analogy was Alex's. Did you just commandeer that for yourself?
I didn't know. It's his. I didn't use the marble analogy. That's all him.
I don't know. What's the right sound the marble makes? Kerplunk? Some kind of... I'm going to have to figure out the onomatopoeia for that one.
Just been playing Kerplunk.
Alright, let's get into the next...
That's the way it sounds. It's more the way it bounces, right? So if you drop it from a high point, it goes doink, 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 and
yes.
Then you get
I think it's when it falls to the floor. It's like thump.
Thump, yeah, it goes thump, doink, doink, doink.
Alright, well,
we're gonna have to coin some noises here.
Yeah, I'll be sure to hire you guys as my sound effects crew on my next production. But in the meantime,
get that guy from Police Academy.
Exactly.
Oh, God. Please do get that guy.
That's skills. With that said, 7 minutes to go for the chest opening on DLive. I just did some house cleaning over there. Au revoir to anybody trying to get their hands on the lemons that didn't belong. I appreciate your brief stay in the chat. But
were they given one lemon at a time? Were they trying to steal our lemons?
Yeah, there's some suspicious behavior. If you just come here and drop lemons, you don't even chat, you're highly sus. And yes, I've already ejected them, so good riddance. In the meantime, next token is SPCE. It's a stock request. Is this the Virgin Galactic stock? Is that what SPCE is?
I would assume that it's some kind of tech stock, just looking at the pattern.
I think Alex knows. Alex, what is it? Oh, it's SpaceX. Okay, I guess that's even more appropriate.
Yeah, and you got a nice gap right up in here. I think this actually looks good, guys. The continuation here, it'd be right about where your entry is. I think you can easily, safely take this up. I mean, it's not quite a new high. We still have some resistance, but I think that you can, looking at this just from this standpoint, you might be able to take it all the way up to 52, but trading it from here, I would have my first TP at around $39.40. I'm not too far from here, so we have moved a little bit above that. You could take this probably at half risk, but looking at someone else's system, you might be able to get into this and take it even higher. But it does look strong from here. Coming back down, testing this old resistance, now comes support, consolidating above here, and boom, another pop to the upside. I think that this looks good. This looks strong. At least a test of the old resistance. I think that this one is a good one to get into.
All right.
Certainly one of the stronger ones of the day.
There's your look at SpaceX, my dear Boris Bitcoin.
I can't believe there's no X in the ticker.
It's close enough. It's space.
Yeah, I mean, their ticker is basically space.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. I'll give them that.
I wouldn't want the X there. I mean, if you could get the ticker just space, fantastic. It's a good ticker.
We want to own space.
Who wouldn't want it?
I can see how the X is elemental to what's being done here, but thank you nonetheless, Jason, for the SpaceX commentary. Let's get into this next request. This is one of the last ones I have on the board for now. I'm going to be opening that D-Live chest in just a couple of minutes. Crypto Bull wants to look at RUNE USD, I guess.
RUNE looking the same as everything else.
For gold. You already did gold.
I briefly went over it today, just on the overview. What's that?
They want to know if you think it's a good buy area or if it may go lower.
Well, to be honest with you, looking at the pattern on where we blew up through, kind of broke through this pattern on the daily, then sold off all the way down here. This is a historical spot of support coming back down here. Maybe this just throwback before we get continuation to the upside. I think that. What's that?
Retested the downtrend from above, perhaps?
Yeah. And a throwback to test the downtrend, and then what used to be resistance now comes support, and then you get a blow to the upside. I think that this would be a good place to start looking for reversals, to go down to lower time frames and see if you can't find that good signal. It does appear that we're curling up on expanding momentum, which is good. So maybe gold does have a push up here. If we do get a push out of Bitcoin as well, I think that we're likely to see gold press up as well. But nothing to do quite yet, but this is definitely an interesting spot. If you're looking to maybe try to catch a bottom on gold, I don't think that this is a ridiculous spot to be looking for it. But then again, we could just come back up here, trade a little bit, come up here, tap the baseline, and then get sold into again. You just kind of got to be patient right now, right? You're a little far extended from your baseline, so a pop up here even to your baseline wouldn't be ridiculous. And what kind of a movement is that? 2% movement on gold. That's not too shabby. But yeah, definitely coming back down to test old resistance. So, and then maybe you get an inverse head and shoulders out of this. And then if that were to be the case, then you'd get a measured move that's all the way up to an all-time high. So that would be really impressive to see, but that's complete speculation at this point because we just don't know if this is going to hold.
All right. Well, thank you for jumping the queue with Tricon32's gold request. Hopefully that covers it for you, Mr. Tricon. Only 2 requests still left on the board. This next one's for Revolution in the D-Live chat. Guys, I'm looking at R, the ARRR Pirate Coin chart, which with these 2 peaks, one at the $4 top and a right shoulder formation. All right, I think he's asking, do you see a head and shoulder pattern on Pirate Chain?
I can never find it.
It's because it doesn't. Let me have a look here. I think Alex always uses CoinTrader for this one, doesn't he?
Yeah, CoinTrader.pro.
Yeah, try using that, or we'll pop Alex on here, see if he wants to.
Yeah, I don't have a.
He does. He doesn't use CoinTrader.pro. Alex, any chance if you're in front of the terminal right now, we could flip to your screen?
Okay.
If you're feeling generous with your time, just take a look at the Pirate Chain
Right,
with a guest appearance from Alex.
Are you ready?
All right. I'm curious too on art because I've been looking for a buy opportunity on Pirate Chain. I think it's a promising project. Alex, what would you advise?
I mean, I suppose this is not a bad place to look to be buying because we've already found support here once. See here, boom, we break below it, come up, test it again. If we get movement off of this area, if we can break this downtrend, then I say it would be a good time to go long. But I mean, right now, while we're right on support, probably not right now. Wait for a break of the downtrend, and if we get that, then it's a good buying opportunity. Probably good to take at least back towards $9 or $10, very least.
All right, well, there is Alex's thoughts on Pirate Chain. Quick debut of Alex, or quick appearance of Alex, I should say, on the show today. Much thanks for a look at Pirate Chain for that. I'm going to flip back to Jason's screen, and we're going to look at the next request. What do we have here? Well, it's Samo, S-A-M-O. Alex81SG on DLive writes, here's a shitcoin request for you guys. Samoid coin. Alright, S-A-M-O. Is this going to be a ChartX jobby?
Sam?
Yeah, it might be a ChartX job. I'm going to find out in a second.
Whammo.
Oh, it's a Solana-based token. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to easily chart this. Let me see where it's traded. It's traded on the Serum DEX. I'm not even sure if ChartX Pro or ChartX... oh, there you go. Found something.
Yeah, but it won't load.
It won't load. Tough to say, guys. In the meantime, let me... oh, yeah, we're already due for the chest opening. Thank you to everybody who patiently waited for this one. I am going to distribute the rewards in just a second. Let me just ban a few people, and then we'll get the lemons out to everybody. Oh, Mr. Ether came through with a diamond. Thank you for the big diamond donation. Rhino TD also came through with a diamond just a few moments ago. Guys, I can't thank you enough for your very, very generous lemon donations. With that said, let's do it. Banning this guy because I have a suspicion he doesn't belong here, and let's deposit a generous amount. Since we missed yesterday's show, I'm gonna up the ante here, guys. I'm gonna double the usual amount of lemons I like to give away on a daily basis. This is a big one, gentlemen. 1,000 lemons just got tossed in the chest.
It's always better to start the show with 1,000 lemons. That way, more people, they're like, "Oh, why is there so many lemons in here?"
I feel like it attracts a lot of the wrong types in here.
You're right. Maybe that's true. Maybe we should just reward our loyal viewers.
Yes, certainly. And I'm also trying to filter out all the shady operators. With that said, guys, sorry for the extreme delay. But I'm going to deploy the chest now. By the time you hear this, the chest is going to be... prompt is going to be appearing on your screen. 10, 9... Chest is going out, guys. Get your lemons. Get them now.
Get them now.
Or
yeah, I cannot get this Samo to load.
It's no problem. He did mention it is an utter shitcoin. Maybe if... Alex has a moment. Man, what happened to this? Let's see here.
You are fine.
Maybe if Alex has a moment, he can check his ChartX, metamorphosis.chartx.com. And let me see here. See if you can pull up this particular coin. Guys, the lemons went out. I'm going to quickly read out today's winners. Let me just get this this little on-screen element for you. What was that, Alex? You said something?
What's it called?
S-A-M-O, Samoid coin.
It's probably just trash. But...
Well, this is Samoy. Is it Samoid Inu or Samoy?
Just Samoid, I think. Yeah, Samoid coin. It's a Solana token, ends in ASU, starts with 7XK.
No.
All right. I'm not sure with ChartX. I'm pretty sure it does not do Solana.
You're SOL.
All right, we're out of luck, but do appreciate the shitcoin request nonetheless. Thank you, Alex81SG. In the meantime, I'm just going to read out the winners of today's giveaway real quick. Crypto Bull 21 came in first with 191 lemons. Thank you. Rhino TD with 110 lemons. Endcap Futures with 80 lemons. Tricon 32 with 63. And finally, Alex81 came in with 53 lemons. All right, solid giveaway, guys. 1,000+ lemons distributed today. Should be plenty of people as well. If you click claim, that probably rounded out the top 10 recipients of the lemons this afternoon. Crypto Bull 21 celebrating a 3-month subscriber streak. Yes, awesome. Congrats. I see a lot of trader handles in the DLive live chat. So thank you very much for anybody grabbing those lemons and grabbing those trader handles. We can't thank you enough. All right. See new people arriving in the chat right now. All these guys are super sus. In fact, why did you mute people? Asks AMB. Gee, why did I mute you? Because you guys are suspicious. You coming in here just to siphon lemons off the top. And you never comment, you just game the system. Why you do that? Oh, I know why I did that. Same reason I'm banning you. Goodbye. All right.
Oh, jeez.
I'm sorry. The hammer's going out. You come in here for just the lemons. You just you're driving by. You're smashing and grabbing the lemons. Nah, it ain't like that. You picked the wrong DLive channel for that, son. We promptly eject any interlopers coming from that end of the world. Let's get. Actually, that's the last request I had. Scratch that, gentlemen, ladies. Less than 10 minutes left in the show. We might just wind it down early because I'm pretty much out of requests to cover. Let me go into the live chat real quick, see if there's anything of consequence to mention in here. Let's see here. Samoyed coin, it's trash indeed. Well, thank you for the request despite that. Let's see here. I am England is getting posted in the live chat. Certainly lots of a lot of I am England's in here. Let's have a look here. Yep, muted. That's right. Get back tomorrow, certainly. Yep, more coming out tomorrow. I thought someone hacked my DLive, says Mr. Ether, but it was auto-renew on my second account today. Okay, you auto-renewed something. There is your explanation to the billing. Alex1233 says, we don't fuck around here. Alright, that's right. We don't fuck about here, actually, is what he said. Yes, we certainly don't play any games here. This is all business. When it comes to lemons, this is not a game, folks. This is real. I take my lemons more seriously than I do my sats. ANCAP Futures, poor new viewers, LOL. Yeah, in some cases, maybe it's a new viewer that gets caught up unnecessarily, but I have strong suspicion. In fact, I can always smell them. I can always smell these bad actors in the chat. They just, a new viewer doesn't just show up and start dropping a lemon every few minutes. Generally not how it goes. David Rice, thanks for a great show and edutainment as always. Thank you, David Rice. Can't thank you enough for joining us every day. Gravy, Grits, and Greens. Thanks, guys. Look at the Dixie if you have time. Sure, Jason. Mind taking a quick look at the Dixie? Sure. And it's Ponzi asked, did I miss the prompt for the lemons? Yeah, you must have. Are there no lemons today? No, I gave them away already. It's Ponzi. You might have missed it. It was right around the 1 hour, 45 minute mark.
The same as earlier on the Dixie. It looks like we're getting sold into. Nice little push to the upside. Likely get some. Let me get Quadrigo off here. We had a nice explosive 3 days here. It's likely that we get some pull back down to test these levels. I think maybe 91.50 down to the 90 range. And if Bitcoin continues the way that it is, then we're likely to see the Dixie coming back down here to test old old resistance comes support. So I think things in the interim, looks like you got to take profit long on the daily. And then lower time frames, it looks like you're getting a full-blown short signal on the 4-hour right now, which closes in 6 minutes. Is that right? Yep, closes in 6 minutes. So yeah, full short on the Dixie on the 4-hour. So I think that the Dixie looks pretty weak here on lower time frames, which makes sense considering that Bitcoin is getting a little bit of momentum to the upside here. Like I said, to the members out there, I'm going to be watching lower time frames today on the 4-hour. If I do get that good signal, I'm definitely going to be posting that out. So I think if we see this continue to the upside like this, then the Dixie is likely to keep testing lows, or not testing lows, testing old support levels. So negative on lower time frames for the Dixie.
All right, there's your quick check-in on the Dixie. Let's have a look. Anything else I really need to make a note of before we wind the show down? Let's see here. Breaking news, almost $1 billion worth of shorts closed on Bitfinex. All right. Apparently the long-short ratios as volatile as the price over on Bitfinex. Let's have a look here. Connor Simpson asks, kind of a new user to YouTube, but shout out to Connor Simpson. He asks, should I hold on making trades for now?
If you don't know what you're doing, absolutely. If you don't have a system, absolutely. Then you're just guessing and gambling, man. And likely that if you're doing that, then you're likely guiding that by emotion, and that's going to get you hammered.
Yes, well put for the new user, Connor Simpson. We're glad to have you here, and certainly a resource you'll probably be able to lean on. You, of course, showing up just as we're winding down the show. So, Connor Simpson, if you're still with us, I encourage you, subscribe, do follow. We do host this 2-hour podcast every day. And, of course, our traders are full-time traders who... they post their signals, they post their analyses to the premium. So this is a good segue to premium.krakencryptocurrency.com. Like I said, great resource for any aspiring traders. Help get a grip on what happens in the space by leaning on more experienced, more successful, more profitable traders. You can do that by joining premium.krakencryptocurrency.com, where you will find, of course, education material, our Pathways to Profit course, which teaches you how to build your own system, become your own powerful systems trader. We bring you signals, we bring you proprietary indicators that we've developed in-house ourselves in the lab here at Kraken Cryptocurrency. The Premium Lounge, the Members Lounge, man, there's just so much to offer by checking out premium.krakencryptocurrency.com. Alternatively, of course, if you haven't already, be sure to check out Discord, discord.krakencryptocurrency.com. Do join what I think is the best trading community in all of Discord land. We're not like we're not like some kind of pump and dump or one of these other scammy and very shady Discord groups. We have been an established Discord group for 2-3+ years now. Easy, probably pushing 4 years if I think about it. We've been in the Discord game for a while. We've developed a robust community of not just bystanders, but traders, people really loyal and dedicated to the art and the craft of day trading.
Made a few friends along the way too.
We certainly have a great opportunity to network with like-minded individuals who have their eye on the prize, and that's fat gains. Yes, learn how to trade like a pro, and join a community of like-minded traders. Like I said, discord.krakencryptocurrency.com. Finally, if you missed today's show, if you joined really late and you wanted to rewind and cover some of the coins that we did look at, the replay, as always, is going to be available immediately. Now that we're back on YouTube, the replay is available immediately after we wrap. Just refresh this window as we wind down. You can follow the beginning of the show all over again, and I will be posting timestamps to the description soon after we wrap, usually 30 to 60 minutes after the show wraps, we have the full manifest, I should say, of the timestamps coming in to the description. So always easily find your favorite coins from I look at Hex, Link, Ocean, SUSHI, and so many more. Easily reference them. Yep, everything you see on that right hand side and more is going to be easily found by checking out the description of those timestamps. With that said, guys, that's pretty much a perfect segue to get into the exit. One final shout out to Mr. Ether, who just threw another diamond into the pile. I can't thank you enough, Mr. Generous Ether. Always coming through with diamonds and the big rewards. All right. Let's have a look here. I think that's about it. Anything interesting here in the comments I have to mention? I'll let our analysts have the final words from here while I quickly check the chat.
Well, I mean, looking at the market overall here, I mean, of course, on the daily, things are looking pretty bearish. Of course, on the lower time frames, we're getting some interesting price action to the upside. I think right now, the best thing you could be doing if you're not in any positions, to just kind of sit on the sidelines. And if you have systems that are for lower time frames, stuff like that, maybe you might be able to catch a little bit of a something to the upside here. But we just don't know at this point. So waiting for the daily to close, see if we do get that bullish engulfing. That's going to be a little sign to tell us that likely we might get some continuation to the upside. But as for now, just got to be patient, guys. Manage your risk accordingly and just see what happens.
Alex, are you still with us? Any final thoughts for today?
Yeah, no, I don't have any final thoughts. Just focus on protecting your capital, guys, and don't short the bottom.
That's it. Oh, damn it!
Good advice.
But we could end up being down here for a while, so it may not make sense to just instantly long either. Just kind of wait and see.
Yep, be patient.
Whatever happens, it's not going to happen all in one day.
Stay out of trouble.
We did catch some great shorts on this price movement to the downside, so let's just lock that in and just kind of let the market tell us where we need to go next, right? Just like clockwork.
Stay out of trouble, guys. Don't get wrecked. Catch us tomorrow for the Wednesday edition of the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. And finally, Alex. Alex is going to be, he's packing, as we said. He's moving. He is on the go. Alex may be in and out over the next few episodes. So let's wish him safe travels. Good luck in your journey, Alex. And you know, if you can't make it for an episode or you're in transit, whatever it is, yes, do your thing. We wish you the best of luck.
Okay.
Yep. Trade safely, everyone.
Peace out, guys. Catch you tomorrow.
Bye.